Hi, my name is Sherryn Gaworecki, and I'm here with my co-host, Captain Matthew Tidman of Hamden Corps, and we have a very special announcement for today's podcast.
Yes, we do. A very important announcement. Camp registration is here and it's about to close. And so we're trying to make sure we get as many kids signed up as possible to want to go to camp this summer. Sharon, have you ever been to camp before?
Did once in middle school, but it was life-changing because I actually caught a fish.
Oh, fun.
It was small, but I felt it. I felt all this confidence. I felt like a really confident fisherman, even though it was my first time. It was a great experience.
Yes. Well, I've been to camp several times. Um, I've caught more than my fair share of fish. And let me tell you, it is an awesome opportunity that we have. And, we have the Salvation Army's Rappahannock Camp and Conference Center down in Richardsville, Virginia. It is a place where kids get to change their lives by the opportunities they have, the things that they get to do there. And so June 1st is when registration closes. And that's why we're trying to make sure that we get everybody registered that wants to go. Now, sometimes don't bet on this. Sometimes they will extend the registration, but we can't guarantee that. We can only guarantee up to the 1st of June that they will be able to sign up. And so that's why we're really pushing this, why we're really making sure that we're getting out there and letting people know, because we want to make sure that the kids have an opportunity to go to camp.
So we have a couple reasons why camp is very important for all children. It's not only just the gift that keeps on giving, it exposes your child to diversity
Mm-hmm.
because your child will meet all kids from all different walks of life and learn social skills, emotional intelligence when interacting with different children, boost self-esteem. The greatest way to boost your child's self-esteem is to expose them to different activities that challenge them, such as archery,
Fishing,
fishing, see?
swimming,
Swimming.
all of these kinds of opportunities. I want to go back to that idea of diversity because we have a very diverse camp group. We have people going from the Baltimore area, obviously, but we also have people that are going to be in camp that maybe live in the backcountry of West Virginia. Maybe they live in DC. Maybe they live in the south part of Virginia. All of these different areas send kids to camp, this same camp. And so you get to meet people that you might not otherwise meet, but it's often an opportunity to make lifelong friends. Some of my best friends that I grew up with were people that I met at camp growing up. And so this just gets you to connect with people that you otherwise might not have in your normal social group.
Because normally there's a lot of children before they go into camp, they don't know how to socialize, they're nervous, they're scared, they're addicted to their screens. They play Roblox, I don't know. They're just playing all these games and they have these friends in the screen, but you can make real life friends, lifelong
Mm-hmm.
friends at summer camp because you're pushed out of your element. It boosts your self-esteem. It also creates independence skills because
Mm-hmm.
each child has a packed schedule. They have to wake up early, they have to make their bed, they have to get ready for breakfast, they have to learn all these new skills, they have to learn how to cooperate with different kids and take care of themselves for an entire week without their parents.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they will have a camp counselor. They will have somebody that will be there to kind of facilitate the whole experience. But there's something that's very different about that opportunity of going away from being at home, from being in that kind of space where everything's looked after. Have to start to look after yourself for the first time, and we make sure that's very age appropriate. We're not going to take an 8-year-old and say, all right, you got to cook your own meals and you got to do your own laundry and all of that stuff. No, they're going to have a structured environment, something that's going to help them to grow, but it's also going to give them that opportunity to make those choices. Things like, what kind of elective do I want to do? Do I want to learn how to fish? Do I want to learn to do some archery? Maybe I want to go on hikes every day because I really like being outdoors. Maybe I want to build macrame bracelets. Maybe I just love macrame bracelets so much that I need to do that every day of my life. It's about giving those different opportunities and the independence to choose how they're going to grow and how they're going to develop.
So you're exposing your child to different potentials, different possibilities outside of your school system. We create this special opportunity at a very reduced cost. Did you know, and this is national, the most affordable camp experience you can get is with the Salvation Army?
Mm-hmm. We are sending kids to camp for $25 per camper.
Yeah,
That's unheard of in other places. Now,
yeah.
it's not that cheap for us. We are taking on a bunch of the cost, but that's because we believe in the opportunity that camp has to change lives. And I know what you're saying. You're going, well, $25 is still a lot, particularly in this economy and what we're going through right now. If that $25 is making you say, no, I just can't do it, come talk to us, because we do have scholarships available for for specific instances, and we need you to talk to us to let us know what's going on, because we want to make sure that if your kid wants to go to camp, that they get to go to camp this summer.
We ensure opportunity for all children. It doesn't matter your socioeconomic background. We look past everything. We
Mm-hmm.
want all children in Central Maryland to have the gift of camp, if
Yeah.
that makes any sense, just to have it for the rest of their lives.
Mm-hmm. And this year we're talking about with camp, our theme for camp this year is adventure beyond.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about going on these grand adventures and pushing, expanding outside the comfort zone. And so we want to make sure that that adventure is available for everybody, no matter what the background is, no matter what the family situation is, no matter what's going on. We have two different kind of styles of camping that we offer. The first is for younger kids. We're talking about elementary to middle school kids. And that is this very structured. You have the counselor, you go and do different activities, you make sure you get to swim in the pool at least once a day, every day. That's very important, absolutely. I think that if you were to ask 9 out of 10 kids that are going to camp, they would tell you that was their favorite thing, was going to swim in the swimming pool. But we have that opportunity for younger campers. But maybe you have teenagers at home that you're just like, I need to get them out of here. I need to get them to go do something other than just sitting in the room and talking on their phones and their computers all the time. Well, the good news is we also have a teen camp experience that is a little bit more, we use the word rugged. We're not talking about they go into the woods and they build a shelter out of sticks, although that's one of the things they'll learn how to do during this teen camping thing. But we are talking about the opportunity to go and spend time in nature in a camping experience. If you're of the older generation, maybe you remember going camping with your family during the summer. It's something that I don't think we do as much with the younger generation now, but it's something that I know I grew up doing. And that's the same kind of idea. And instead of having kind of the very structured way of doing things, it's a much more, well, I guess unstructured is the right word.
Fun.
Much more fun, but much more empowering kind of experience for teenagers, where they're really getting to make the most out of camp. Now, let me be clear, there's still going to be supervision. There's still going to be things that are going to be done on the schedule. There's still going to be those kinds of things. For example, they're going to get fed 3 meals a day. Absolutely. That's going to happen. But maybe they want to go swim in the lake one day, or maybe they want to go fishing one day, or maybe they want to learn how to tie knots, or maybe they want to learn how to safely build a fire, so that if they're ever outside and they need to build a fire for safety or for survival, they have that skill. Those kinds of things are the things that we are offering in the Teen Summer Camp program. I'm going to be one of the facilitators for that, and I am so looking forward to that. But we need the kids to go so they can have a fun time and so they can learn and grow, because that's what it's all about, really, is to build these life skills that they're going to be take with them forever. Those kinds of things are the things that we really want to instill and grow in our kids, to make them more self-sufficient, and to make them more able to be productive and what am I trying to say, Sherryn?
Like
More
self-reliant.
self-reliant,
Yeah.
and really are able to really interact and work together with their peers in a good way, in a positive way.
So I'm going to give like an abstract example why camp is really important. Let's say you put your kid in camp, they're 8, 9 years old, and they're learning all these different skills. So let's say that they become adults. They're in the work world. And oftentimes in the work world, you have to learn and teach yourself new skills. They're going to go back to camp and they'll think, I taught myself archery. I had to row a boat on my own. I had to do all this stuff. I can handle learning coding on my own. I can handle learning this database, this CRM. I did all this before when I was a kid, out of my element when I was terrified. Not terrified in a bad way, but in a good way. So it progresses the skill sets that are learned for 1 week in camp. It's lifelong. And $25 can be 25 extra years of a more fulfilling life because of what is taught in here and in your heart, because the lifelong friendships you get.
And it's going to also give these great memories. I have fantastic memories of summer camp growing up. I still remember the first time I got into the pool at summer camp as a young kid, and I didn't know how to swim, and the lifeguards were teaching me how, and I learned to swim pretty well. And those kinds of things are things that stick with you. The other one that I remember, and I think I told you about this a little bit ago, but I got to tell them about it, Sherryn. And you've heard me tell this story, but it's called the flying squirrel.
The flying squirrel.
And it's basically one of the opportunities that we have at our summer camps is we have what are called ropes challenge courses, which is another opportunity for kids to learn leadership skills, but also to learn critical problem solving. But the camp I was at that summer had this one ropes course element that's called the flying squirrel. And what happens is that you're hooked into a harness, and then you have the ropes course facilitator. And so you're standing here, so this is you, and then the person is standing behind you, facing away from you. And so you take off running that way, they take off running that way, and eventually you just go soaring up into the air because at that point they're much bigger than you. And it's an exhilarating feeling
funny.
of flying, but it's also something that you never forget if you've done it. It's one of those things that stays with you. And those kinds of memories are the kinds of things that we're building into campers. I'm 35 turning 36. No, I'm 36 turning 37 this year. Gosh, I lost a year there somewhere.
Turning 37?
In September.
Oh, and wow.
Yeah. And so I still remember that from when I was 7 years old. So that's 30 years ago. I still have these memories of these times and fun things that happened at camp. And that's one of the other kind of intangible benefits of camp, if you will, the things that we give to kids that maybe you don't think about when you're thinking about sending your kids to camp.
And on that note, sign up for camp. This is our PSA. This is very important. Time is running out. Sign up your child for camp at www.sa-md.org. You will click on the link at minicamp.com.
I believe linked. It's whatever is linked on the website, but it'll say camp. Sign up for camp here, and that's where you will go to sign up your kids for camp.
And on that note, thank you all so much, and we will see you next week.